Week 7 of Lakeshore Prep Sports here on Lakeshore PBS. Tonight, we'll get you up to date on the latest in high school basketball. We'll meet the Hammond Central Wolves. I just want to call them the Purple Gang and call them Hammond. I'm sorry. I've been publicly shamed for doing that on this program already. So I'm going to thank you.
No problem. I'm here for you.
All right. Thank you. You got my back. All right. We'll be right back with the show right after this.
Become your best at IU Northwest. With more than 70 high-quality degree programs, a convenient location, and affordable tuition. Learn how you can join more than 29,000 IU Northwest alumni at iun.edu.
Valparaiso University is a place for you to grow. It's where professors are there to help you find your passions, and it's where you'll make connections that last a lifetime. Learn more at valpo.edu.
Doing as much as you can, as quickly as you can, is important to me. Life is short, and the earlier we get started helping our community, the better off our community will be.
Alrighty, week 7, Lakeshore Prep Sports here on Lakeshore PBS. And some of the great rivalries in Northwest Indiana, the Battle of Porter County is one of those. Chesterton and Valpo meeting in high school boys basketball.
Chesterton on a roll right now. Won 4 of the last 5, and they've really improved from a slow start of the season.
They have. Justin Sims is having a huge year. Tyler Parrish, what did he have, 35 against Hammond High? That's big time.
Well, we talked last week about having the backup scores on your basketball team, and Chesterton's starting to get that together now. They're starting to get guys that can put the ball in the basket that you can rely on them from week to week.
They are definitely a team to watch as we get close to sectionals.
And by the way, did I just see a jump hook?
A jump hook from Justin Sims. He's a heck of an athlete there, and he really drained it home.
Owen Guest from downtown. They have multiple guys that can shoot it. They really took Portage out of the game early. Maybe their best performance of the year. They looked outstanding against Portage.
Guest again from the corner there. If you can hit the shot from that short corner, it's going to be a long night for your opponent.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can play the defense you want to, but if you can't stop the outside jumper, I mean, let's face it, that's a tough shot to stop.
Look like they could be headed to an undefeated DAC season. Coach Urban getting it done, but Justin Sims, 19 points per game. He's one of those Rodney Dangerfield players in Northwest Indiana. He's not getting a lot of fanfare.
You can tell by just those clips how athletic this young man is. Mm-hmm. He's hitting the hook. He can take it inside. He can take it outside. Heck of a player here in Northwest Indiana.
No doubt.
All right, they're going to take on Valpo. Vikings just 11-11 on the season.
And apparently Valpo is having a problem turning the ball over these days, which is something which is un-Valparaiso-listic. I believe that's a word. Yeah.
Yeah, they've actually won 2 out of the last 3 games, but they've been a little sloppy at times. But there's still some talent on this team. They're hitting the 3 there. That was a Smiley there from the wing. This Valpo team is still kind of figuring themselves out here mid-season.
Oh, there you go. There you go. That was a great move.
And again, a team that's very dangerous come tournament time. Now, granted, they're about a 500 team, but as you mentioned, winners of 2 of their last 3, they're going to be awfully tough still come tournament time.
And any team that has Mason Jones, a Division I basketball player, speak of the devil, a heck of an athlete there, he can take a game over. It's just a matter of who is going to support him in this team to make sure that there's a second and maybe third threat.
And that's one of the reasons why they're battling at 500 right now, because you have to find that guy and you haven't really found him on a consistent basis yet.
I think that's it in a nutshell.
Well, Smiley's been doing pretty well. He's averaging 16 points per game, but one of the 2 of them gets shut down. What's going to happen? Who's going to step up for the Vikings?
Good point. Good point.
And the pick. I think this is mine.
I think it is.
I think Chesterton's peaking at the right time.
Yeah.
And I mean, they really played really well, but lost to Hammond. Played great against Portage.
Right.
Rivalry game. They'll be focused here in this one.
A lot of teams lose to Hammond. Let's be fair. Now this is a rivalry game, and although it pains me to agree with you, Joe, because of my Vikings here, I think that's a good pick.
Well, I don't have anything to do with either team, but I still have to agree with him too. So, and let's face it, Chesterton's starting to play well.
Yeah.
They lost some good people from last season, and now they're starting to get chemistry with one another.
I think so.
There you go.
I agree.
All right, how about Michigan City and Maryville?
Michigan City's won their last 4 games. They're really starting to hit their stride.
Well, let's face it, if you could put 70 points on the board, 70 plus points on the board, which they did against Bowman Academy, that means their offense is pretty darn good.
That was Hodges with the 3 from the corner or from the wing. This team is dynamic. There's a lot of players on here that can go off at any point.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Hodges, their leading scorer, I believe, 21 points per game, someplace around there?
Yeah, he was playing well, and then he took it to another level, even better than what he was playing. He has been hard to contain.
And he's being flanked by Anthony Murphy, who's averaging 15 points per game. Really excellent player here. This team has a lot of offensive capabilities. It's going to see how their defense, and you know they're playing good defense because they keep winning.
Oh, man.
Oh, the floater in the bank. But this team is really on a roll, and that's what you want to see now that this season is rounding into form.
Come on, come on.
Pull up 3?
Step in
Are
3.
you kidding me?
On the
Is that a
break.
layup? Is that a layup for him?
I'm sure they were yelling layup when he took the shot, because he has been rolling.
So they're averaging nearly 70 points per game. Really dynamic on the offense. Hodges with 22 points per game. You're almost there, Tommy. 22 points per game. That's an excellent, excellent dynamic player.
All right, they're taking on Maryville. The Pirates have struggled to 7-11 on the season.
Yeah, they've only won 1 out of their last 4, Joe, and that's a tough thing to do here in Northwest Indiana, is play with all these tough teams. But
That could happen in the Dumoulin.
yes, it can. Yes, it can. Top to bottom, Dumoulin's pretty tough.
So what do you think the chances are that these guys can actually bounce back and make a roll come tournament time?
I think not this year. I think, they've Robert Kennedy on the drive. I just think they don't have enough offense to get it done.
Well, keep this in mind, though. They're really well coached. Coach Patton knows what he's doing out there in Maryville. It's just a matter of kind of maturing into what team and what role you want to play on this team, and making sure that everyone is clicking at the right time. And in fairness, with the talent, you never know what can happen in a game.
I think they just really haven't been able also to get the turnovers from pressure, which is something that's been a staple for Maryville. If they can't turn you over, it's difficult to make enough threes that you need to win games.
Well, speaking of a 3 there, that was Jeremiah Roberts with the buzzer beater. That looked really nice.
You see offensively, their leading scorers are just 13 and 11. So offense has been a little inconsistent, just 60 points per game. And if your defense isn't turning them over, that's going to be rough.
And they've got a weekend game coming up against Hobart, and I think that's a game they really need to win.
Yes.
Just to get some momentum going.
So here, this is my pick with Michigan City versus Maryville. I just think Michigan City is a little too much right now. They're playing good offense. They're playing good defense. I think they win by 8 on the road.
All right, we talked about one of the, Justin Sims, maybe the Rodney Dangerfield player. How about maybe Morgan Township, the Rodney Dangerfield team in Northwest Indiana?
Straighten your tie when you say that. Do the Rodney
respect.
Dangerfield. No respect.
But let's be honest here. Morgan Township has won 13 games in a row. When you start getting into those double digits, you're having a good season.
Only one other team I could think of off the top of my head that has done that, and that's Munster, and I'm sure we'll take a look at them later on. They too have won 13 in a row.
They are currently leading the Porter County Conference. That is obviously a lot of hotly contested games with a lot of fierce rivals. You're seeing this right here against Couts, their biggest rival, and the and one there for Holder.
He can hold it, dude. Get it done.
And Morgan Township, I think they got a big game coming up to close out their season against not Bowman Academy, I'm sorry, Lake Station, and that's going to be a fun game. That's a buy your tickets now type matchup coming up.
Ooh, strong take by Grieger there. My goodness.
That was.
Yes, it was. going for the contact, and then the fierce defense there by Jaden Spratley. Dishing it off with the finish for Holden.
I like the way they go right to the basket, no holding back. Let's go right at them. They turn the ball over. Let's make them pay.
Only averaging 59, but they're not giving up that many, and I think they must be able to handle the basketball. They're not getting turned over 17 or 13 in a row, 17 and 3.
Yeah, not bad at all.
That's getting it done. Excuse me, and we're going to see them. They're taking on Westville. Westville had a huge victory over Whiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they looked very impressive against Whiting. Now, Whiting has had a little bit of trouble here and there, but Westville looked really, really good. They have won 3 of the last 4 games.
15 and 6 is Westville.
And with all due respect to Whiting, they are still learning how to win on a consistent basis, but Westville getting the impressive W over the Oilers, very good for them going into the tournament.
This team, sorry.
Go ahead. We
Joe.
saw these guys last week. The all-name team, Javion Ballin and Caden Pepper.
Perfect athlete's name and perfect for the style of this team. Look at the efficiency of these of the Warriors here or the Blackhawks here and making this shot. They're really looking well, or looking good so far this year.
Our video guys like those 2 guys so much they didn't show anybody else scoring.
Yeah.
Well, let's be fair here. Westville is averaging 57 points per game, but they have 2 players averaging 16 and 17, Pepper and Ballin.
There you go.
So they are balling.
They are.
And they're on the off-road.
Pepper's balling also. Yeah. Okay, if you say so.
Well, they have won 3 of their last 4 games. Westville's looking pretty tough. I think this is going to be a really fun game, and I think that there could be a lot of fireworks in this game. But for my pick, I think Morgan Township keeps the winning streak going. They're just a little too efficient, a little bit much. I do think that Westville can give them a scare. I think it's going to be close going down to the final few minutes, but Morgan Township.
You used to have friends in Westville.
I do. I used to. Yeah, some of my best friends live in Westville. Some people that I've worked with over the years, and yeah, I guess I'm a former friend of theirs at this point.
Put that in past tense. Right?
Morgan Township playing East Chicago. So that'd be an interesting ball
that'll
game.
be interesting. Yeah.
All right, how about Hanover Central and Munster?
Let me tell you about Munster. They've got a big kid on this team who had a huge game against Lake Station. 31 points, 10 rebounds. Trilly is indeed the young man. And the other guy who I can't think of, another guy that had a double-double against Lake Station last week, had double-doubles in assists and points.
Ooh,
yeah, David Cundiff.
Cundiff, exactly, right.
So they're sharing the ball. They're sharing the ball, and then there's multiple stars in this team. There's a reason why they've won 12 straight games, and they're at 19-2 on the season. They are really shining so far.
Yeah.
Nice up and under.
You got the great inside game. They can hit from the outside. That's going to make them an awfully tough team to beat come tournament time.
They got Andrean tomorrow night. So they're going to be 84-66 win over Lake Station. They'll be heavily favored against Andrean. That's just a pure looking jumper from Brandon Trilly.
It's not like they're forcing anything. It's like everything is just smooth. But then again, their head coach is pretty darn good. He has those kids taught very well, and that's why they're doing so well these days.
It's not unheard of for Munster to be highly ranked in Northwest Indiana. You can see why. They continue to reload. They're well coached. They play an efficient style of basketball. And when you have players like Cundiff and Trilly and Conley on your team, you're really in a position to succeed.
And I want to say Conley also had double figures against Lake Station, too. So that's 3 guys you can lean on. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, 19-2. All right, they're going to be taking on Hanover, who's come on since the start of the season. Wildcats playing some good basketball, won 4 of their last 5.
12-7 on the year. You'll see that they run a very efficient style of offense. They're only averaging 51 points per game, but they're doing it very succinctly and very efficiently.
Coach Stengel won a state title at Andrean, now at Hanover.
Whew. That was a beautiful shot. That was Maher with a corner from the 3 from the corner. Oh, off the official.
Still part of the play, isn't it?
Yeah, great awareness.
They practice that.
John Austin with the layup.
There's the ball moving again. Guy wide open in the corner, three-pointer.
Brad Rohde there.
There you go.
Beautiful shot. A lot of really good shooters here for this Hanover Central team.
Oh, the Euro step. Come on.
Yeah, there you go.
Max Wincheck with the Euro step.
back
Look
out
at the defense there, and the dish behind the back for the dunk. That was Wincheck again. Beautiful play. I love it. I love it. Oh, no, that was Kuzma there for the dunk.
Brad Rohde, 17 points per game. Kuzma, 13 points per game.
So we have a key here to make sure that need to box out, and it kind of relates to the point right above that, averaging 51 points per game. If you box out, you limit your opponents to possessions, and you get yourself extra possessions, you have an opportunity to expand your lead there.
Here's the problem. If you have to box out, you're in trouble against Munster. Because I'll be honest with you, if Munster were playing the Boston Celtics, I'd say pick them. Because that's how well Munster's playing right now. They're my pick to win this game. Hanover Central, you're going to be pretty good come tournament time, but right now Munster is on a big-time roll.
And they're a tremendous rebounding team.
Yeah, which takes us back to Trilly. And they are a good rebounding team, good shooting team. They're going to win this one.
All righty. Time for our feature for this week. They've been the top team in Northwest Indiana all season, even though they play most of the games in Illinois. Let's visit with the Hammond Central Wolves.
What makes this team so spectacular this year?
We're a year older. Last year we were 16-8. I only had one guy with experience, and we returned everyone, and then added Daddy Garza, who set a year last year. And so they're a year older. The expectations changed, and they know that last year was kind of a disappointment for us. It was our first loss in sectional in 5 years. You know, they were disappointed how it ended, and so we came back focused.
We came together as one. We started doing more as a team, not on the court, but off the court. Like, we got to keep ourselves accountable all the time, little stuff like that.
From a leadership standpoint, where have you improved?
The way I control the team more. Last year was all right, but I got better. Listening to the coaches more, all type of thing.
Let's talk about Jordan Woods, and I don't know whether we should talk football or basketball because I guess he's pretty good at both.
Yeah, he's really good, 4-year starter, two-time All-State in football. He committed to Eastern Illinois to play receiver, but he's our leader, he's our best player, and he's just a winner. He knows how to win on both sides, football and basketball, and he's easy to coach.
The experience last year is key. We didn't do so well last year. We just fixing up on what we failed on last season. So we gotta pick up, and we just fixing up on that. I look, he wasn't having no fun at all last season, but it's way better this season.
What's the thing about this year that you see now that was better than what you had last year?
Buying in on defense and everybody accepting their roles and guys playing for one another. I don't think we played for one another last year. It was too much individual, but again, and they were disappointed in the way it ended. We had won 4 straight sectional championships, and they were the first group to lose one, so that didn't sit well with them in the community.
What's the one thing that you have to improve on to really make things happen this season?
Defense. Defense is the main thing. If we lock teams down, they don't score, we win games easily. Passing the open man, we didn't do a lot of that last season. I feel like we're doing way better than that in this season.
We like our pregame music, let the guys get loose while they're stretching and stuff like that, so we always play music at the first 15, 20 minutes of practice.
Basketball season is really great. I love spending time with my teammates, winning games. It's just a lot of fun. We like to have fun. I feel like that's how we get motivated for the games. We just showing personality. We got good chemistry this season. I'd say that's why we winning a lot of games this year.
Our schedule has been pretty tough. We've seen all styles going over to Chicago, playing Whitney Young, and at that point they were ranked in the country, and we've had some tough battles over here. So we just have to get to a place where each game is don't think too far ahead. I think last year we were worried about sectionals and not enjoying the moment. So right now we focus on enjoying the moment.
And what's the name of this kid? Justin Woods?
Jordan Woods?
Jordan Woods.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
yes.
Sorry. Anyway, best athlete?
For the football, absolutely.
Multiple sports. Football and basketball.
He very well could be. He's a Division I football player.
Yes.
Playing basketball at a high level. He's. I definitely said his name an awful lot on the radio and television.
Big time player
for this station here. So he's been exciting here in Northwest Indiana.
All right, let's get you ready for the girls semi-state coming up on Saturday. Heavily favored South Bend, Washington.
They're very good, but if anyone can give them a shot,
Yeah.
it's going to be Lake Central.
I think so. Andrean taking on LaPel. The Lady Niners. With maybe some big-time hopes coming up Saturday.
On a roll right now.
They are. I'm not particularly familiar with LaPel, but I know Andrean is really tough and they're well coached, and hopefully they can continue their momentum.
And Washington Township versus Bethany Christian.
Yeah, Washington Township looking pretty good so far. Let's hope they can keep their momentum going as well.
Let's look at the boys' bottom five. Michigan City right there, 15-6. Chesterton moving up. I think hey, how about Morgan? They're moving up. Morgan at 17-3.
We got LaPorte there at number 9. Jordan Heckard got his 100th career victory at LaPorte.
Oh,
Good friend of mine.
He went to Purdue, I know.
He did. Fellow Boilermaker for sure.
By the way, guys, good move moving Munster to number 2, but not letting Lake Station drop too further from number 3 because Munster just did a number on Lake Station. But again, that's a darn pro team they have on Munster right now. They're that good.
They're very good. But we just saw the highlights on Hammond Central. There's a reason why they're number 1. They enjoy each other's company. They're good kids. They're playing a really high level ball, and they played incredible competition so far this year.
Yeah, and they looked like they were having a blast at practice.
Oh, they
I think
were.
that means a lot.
They were having a blast at practice, and they were having the music blasting and everything. I mean, they had the Michael Jackson stuff going.
There you go.
I mean, I wish that they would play Munster. It would be a thriller.
All right.
Okay,
Lake Station. Yeah, there you go. Lake Station will be in Illiana Christian, Portage, and LaPorte. Boy, Portage looking to bounce back. Oh, there's a rivalry game. Crown Point and Lake Central.
A lot of fun for that one.
That's an evenly matched
It
game.
is.
We'll see.
It is. And Hammond Central taking on Andrean. That'll be a good one. Yeah.
That's going to be rough. And elsewhere in Northwest Indiana this weekend, I think the one thing, Tommy, and you saw the game. We're in the media, so we can do this.
Okay.
What do you think about a future Munster-Hammond game?
You can answer that more than I can because I really don't know what the deal is. We talked about it briefly last week. It would be a great matchup. I mean, you would have to sell out stadiums these high school gyms to watch those two teams play. How good Hammond Central will be next year is a question. We don't know. The coaching over there makes me think they'll be very good. But I don't know about you guys, but I would love to see it.
What's the other dream matchup that we could have had this year for boys basketball?
Oh, gosh. I don't know. I go back to Hammond Central versus Munster, honestly. Another one that we would look at, I like those rivalry games, the neutral site type things. I'd like to see the Portage versus Chesterton play again, because they're two teams that are really starting to get after it. I know it wasn't as close last time, but I think on a neutral site it could be a little more fun. I love those traditional
the
rivalries.
Hammond-Chesterton game was outstanding.
Oh, sure.
So maybe something like Munster-Chesterton would be a great game.
I tell you what really would have been a great game, Gary Roosevelt versus anybody. Because back in the day, back when Roosevelt was rolling, when you know who was playing for that basketball team, every game was a rivalry.
Roosevelt at Westside?
Yes. Yes, that was never an empty seat. I'm not kidding you.
Or Roosevelt versus Wirt?
Yeah. Jim McDonald and Ron Heflin going up against one another. How about Wallace and Roosevelt? Back with Earl Smith and
or Roosevelt in East Chicago.
you're starting to get
Saturday afternoon regional game
at Memorial Auditorium.
No, at East Chicago Central, one of the greatest games I've ever seen.
Well, yeah. Isn't that the one that Glenn hit the last second bucket? Yeah.
Yes.
See, that's the kind of stuff that you miss. You don't have those games like you used to have.
Yeah, in front of 7,000 people.
Right, fill in the Hammond Civic Center or the Gary Coliseum, those types of arenas that hold 10, 15 thousand people. Yeah. Michigan City's arena, I can't remember what the name of that one is now. You don't see that much anymore. I remember as a kid going to some of these games and really enjoying it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you next week with another edition of Lakeshore Prep Sports. Good night.
Become your best at IU Northwest with more than 70 high-quality degree programs, a convenient location, and affordable tuition. Learn how you can join more than 29,000 IU Northwest alumni at iun.edu.
Valparaiso University is a place for you to grow. It's where professors are there to help you find your passions, and it's where you'll make connections that last a lifetime. Learn more at valpo.edu.
Doing as much as you can, as quickly as you can, is important to me. Life is short, and the earlier we get started helping our community, the better off our community will be.